Welcome back to the Metro on 1019 WDET. I'm Cary Junior II. Detroit is throwing a party this weekend, a crossword party of all things. On Saturday night, fans of clues, grids, and our beloved city will gather for the launch of Block Party Detroit Edition. There'll be music, a mini tournament, food, and a room full of people who love this city enough to puzzle over it. At the center of it all are two friends, Sala Wanatik and Emily Bigas. They write with curiosity, they tease with wordplay, and their clues feel like conversations at a bar you've been going to for years. They join me now to talk about how a crossword becomes a portrait of a place and why Detroit is the perfect kind of puzzle. Sala, Emily, welcome to the Metro.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Thank you for that amazing introduction description of ourselves.
If you're already listening, as I said before, call us if you want to take a shot at some of these crosswords. We're going to be going through them a little bit later in the segment, 313-577-1019. And also, you can join them at this Saturday event. It runs from 5 to 9 at the congregation, correct?
Correct.
All right. So the first thing I'm interested about this crossword puzzle is why Detroit? Why build an entire book around this place and not like a generic theme where you can throw in all kinds of puzzles and cute clues?
Well, for starters, we live here. I went to Wayne State, and I've lived in Hamtramck ever since. So that's basically Detroit. Mm-hmm. And, we've published in national publications, and you wouldn't be able to feature Detroit landmarks or Detroit events, local musicians, and those outlets.
We always, like writing for the New York Times and USA Today, you have to be speaking to a national audience, but we want to talk about the things in our lives, things about artists we like that maybe not someone in New York would know, references like Jumana Kairuz, who's on our back cover. Mm-hmm. So things that kind of are in our day-to-day life, we want to see in a puzzle, and that wasn't something we saw before.
You dedicated the book to each other. Why that?
We did.
Because we wouldn't have made this book, or we wouldn't have even started making crossword puzzles without each other. Okay. We got into it together, and we had mentioned we were curious, so I don't think I would have ever written my first puzzle without her.
Yeah, when we were learning how to write puzzles a couple years ago, if I had been doing it on my own, I would have given up pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So we had each other to hold accountable and work through the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we also celebrate all our wins together in crossword. Like our first New York Times puzzle, like I remember like running around on the phone and like crying. Mm-hmm. We celebrate all our New York Times publications at the Painted Lady and Hamtramck. So like our crossword journey, it's like one and the same.
I want to hear about the origins of this journey. How did you begin to even start making puzzles? 2 years ago, you said?
Was it? It was
2023 was our first published puzzle. So I had started solving a little bit before Emily. I had an ex-boyfriend with a New York Times games account. And so I would use his to solve the crossword puzzle. And I was having a lot of fun, and I got into it. And Emily likes word stuff too, right?
Yeah. Sala was mentioning how much she was enjoying solving the New York Times crosswords in particular. And I thought, why don't I do that? I love reading. I love words. That's totally up my alley. So I instantly got hooked on that.
So we got hooked together.
Yes.
You guys both got hooked. You both were just like, love words, want to make puzzles out of it.
Mm-hmm. The more we solved, we'd always be talking about what we liked about puzzles, what we didn't like, ideas we had, and that I always knew I wanted to construct, because when I'm solving, I'm getting ideas in my own head for how I would do it.
I feel like a lot of people engage with popular games or popular pieces of culture and like to critique for fun, but very seldom do they then produce it themselves. I'm wondering what's the critique you may have had of puzzles that you're like, I want to fix this when I make my own puzzle.
Me, for one, I love seeing, like I mentioned, things in my life. I have no shame in admitting I love reality TV, just lowbrow stuff. So in my puzzles, I even sneak into national publications. You're going to see Real Housewives references, stuff like that. It just lights me up to see something I'm into being like a national publication.
I see. Do you have any
Definitely.
criticisms?
Well, when I first started solving, I don't think I was informed enough to have any criticisms. I just loved puzzles. But I always try to fit in music references whenever possible, because that's my other passion.
Okay. Well, this book that you all have, it's filled with Detroit references. Some are tiny, some are iconic. How do you decide which part of the city kind of deserved its spot?
We're not really trying to play favorites. As we were compiling the book, we had a giant word list that we would add to anything we could think of that is, integral to Detroit's history or contemporary culture. We add it to the word list. And then as far as, you're building the puzzle, certain words are going to fit and certain words aren't. So you have to work around certain constraints.
Mm.
There were some must-haves, when you're solving the book, you're going to see a lot of shout outs to WDT people. I know Don is on there. So just kind of deep cuts like that people outside of Detroit just Tia Graham.
Yeah, I was going to say, give a shout out
pops.
to Tia.
It's exciting because in puzzles, Tia shows up all the time.
Yeah.
And people have to clue it Tia Mowry, who doesn't even act much anymore. There's not a lot of relevant ones. Whereas boom, this
Tia
is a woman
Graham.
on the air in this city. So it's just a treat for us as constructors.
We love a shout out to Tia. We love a shout out to Tia.
And there's more shout outs where that came from.
Awesome. Tia and Don was from WDT. Awesome. So when you write about the city, what does the city become? Does it become kind of a co-author of sorts when you're making this?
Yeah, I think the city guides. We write a lot of themed puzzles and one of them is kind of a nod to all the islands in Detroit. You wouldn't think of Detroit as an island town, but there's a bunch. So the things that make Detroit what it is kind of guide what we write about as well.
I see. And there's some misfire, some misdirection, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a little trick there, some humor there. What's a clue style you both really can't resist using when it comes to making puzzles?
I love what's called a question mark clue, which is what you just mentioned. We call those misdirects. So it's not literally a question, but if you add the question mark, it means the answer is not going to be what you think it is.
Should we give them a spoiler
Yeah, I
to
was
the
gonna
show?
say, if you don't mind. a
Yeah,
little
so
spoiler
we're
would be
gonna.
great.
We thought of one we're gonna do. It's Spirit of Detroit ?
I'm trying to answer. And it's
It's
supposed to be
it's 2 words.
2-word Spirit of Detroit ?
So it's not referring to the actual statue, the
Yeah.
Spirit of Detroit. What are some other spirits we have?
We'll just
here?
tell you.
Nain Rouge?
Oh, that's a really good
That
guess.
is good. It's 2 James.
2 James.
Like a spirit in an alcoholic
distillery.
sense. So basically,
yeah.
question mark clues, they mean there's going to be a paradigm shift. So wherever your brain's initially going, it's going to go the other way.
Wow. Okay. I thought that Nain Rouge was a good guess.
That was
Yes,
a really good guess.
That actually, we might use that if that's okay in the future.
Yeah, please do. And I feel like that's one of those elements of Detroit history or Detroit culture that we don't. We only celebrate in the spring, and then we forget that we have this great kind of festival that's going on.
Well,
at
you
that
might
time.
be also foreshadowing some more stuff coming up.
Oh.
No spoilers.
All right, cool. There's even like a Schrodinger puzzle in the
Yeah.
book. It means, one clue has 2 different answers. That's a pretty
That's right.
bold.
That was
pretty bold
all
one.
Emily's thing. We're not going to give
I
it away.
had to get that one in.
Yeah.
I won't say why.
If
I want
you
it to
solve
be a
the
surprise.
puzzle,
Can't say
circle
why.
back.
Okay.
But
Okay. All right, let me remind our listeners that if they're just joining us, we're talking about a new Detroit-themed crossword collection. It's called Block Party Detroit Edition. Our guests are the book's creators. It's Sala Wanatik and it's Emily Begas, 2 friends who turned their love of puzzles and of Detroit into a full-blown block party on the page. Okay, I want to try a few of these. These are clear. These are probably some easy ones, and I imagine that you all know the answer to these, so you can help me with them. Here's just some clues, and I say we open the phone lines if people are listening and they want to call in and guess on some of these. Feel free. The first clue I want to give here is fox print. That's a clue from one of your crossword puzzles. That's the one I haven't been able to quite get. When I think of fox print, the first thing that pops in my head is Fox Theater, but that's not Detroit specific necessarily. There are Fox Theaters in other cities, right? Am I going in the right direction? Theaters?
you are in the right direction with theater.
Fox print.
And there's a question mark too, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a misdirection. Okay, so not theaters.
Actually, you're on the right track. So the misdirect was like fox print. Like we were thinking like a fox animal. They're print
Okay,
in
they're
like
print,
the
they're
snow.
paws. Okay.
But so the correct answer, do you want to say it?
Yes, do I? I
Oh,
don't
did you
have
see it?
this
Oh,
one.
it's playbill.
Playbill.
So it's
okay.
a print at the fox.
I see. Okay, that's a good example of a misdirection there. You
Thank
think of
you.
the paws of the fox. Okay, awesome. Another one that we have here, where you may be spotted.
Oh,
This is the
yeah.
clever one. We figured this one out before the show.
Is that a 3-letter word?
It is a 3-letter
Okay.
word.
Okay, Emily knows it. I don't even remember.
I believe the answer is gym.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's not Detroit specific. Not every single clue is going to be just by the nature of crosswords, but we try when we can.
Like you have a spotter at the gym.
Yeah, my producer in the chat guessed zoo.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Wow,
okay,
I love
do you guys
that.
want to write for our next book?
Maybe. We got to find time. Our producer, Dave Lyons, says yes, he'd be interested in doing that.
Let's go. We're down for collabs.
That's awesome. And then this one was a pretty easy one for all listeners who I would assume know this one. The Creamy Verner's drinks. Boston Coolers. Like, I'm not even going to pause on that one. I don't think anyone has any questions about what that one might be. So these are fun, they're creative, like nods to Detroit culture. That
We tried to do like a lot of different levels too.
Yeah.
So
Levels
you can
like-
get the layups like the Boston Coolers, and then
There's
we
a
get
reference
harder.
to basketball legends. I won't give away too many clues. I know that
Right.
you want people to have the book. So some of that stuff I think is appreciated. We think that's really cool. So you write also that it's not cheating to kind of ask for help in this. That sounds like you're saying that these crosswords can be somewhat social. Why was that kind of the idea or a central theme to this book?
Really? Well, one, you learn by solving crosswords. I've learned so much knowledge. Like everything I learned is going down a deep dive rabbit hole in crosswords. So by looking stuff up, you're going to learn something, and you're going to add that to your crossword arsenal and learn it for the next puzzle you solve.
I see.
And also, it's a great way to start conversations with
Okay.
people. You know, at work, be like, oh, wait, you're a Tigers fan. Who was that, like, pitcher who was the Triple Grands? Like, it's a great way just to talk to people and, like, you know, have a conversation.
That's fair. I know growing up, my mother was a big crossword person. I mean, she would have the newspaper filling it all out. And she's doing all these, it's like trivia almost. And I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. She was a Jeopardy watcher, all that kind of stuff too. But to your point, I would have to go look this thing up to really expose myself to something I hadn't heard of before, some element of culture I didn't know before. So that's interesting to know that it's kind of an informative element to that one as well. What's a Detroit-themed clue you kind of hope sparks a debate maybe among people at someone's kitchen table? Is there a theme in there you're like, oh, this is
a debate.
And now I'm thinking of the clues that are Schroeder's, right? Maybe there's like one people think, oh, this is the best, but then someone else is like, well, no, this is.
Well, one thing that comes to mind is we do have a puzzle featuring local pizza chains. So
There we
you
go.
could spark a debate about what your favorite Detroit-style pizza is.
That
Could get very heated within a family.
That's a prime debate. That's a prime debate.
Yeah.
The clue isn't what is the best Detroit style pizza.
No.
The best in the
We
town.
try
Okay.
to keep our personal editorial opinions out of things. Even if someone's not our favorite artist, but they're like a Detroit icon, you're going to see them in there.
Yeah.
We didn't mention Ted Nugent, but mostly everyone else.
That's fair. I wonder, because you mentioned having different levels of difficulty, intensity. Is there a kind of experience that you want players to have for them to get maybe frustrated when playing this at some time? Do you want to you really want to get people? What's the balance?
We
in that?
don't want to get people.
Okay.
That's the thing. We want to give them a healthy challenge, make your brain sweat, and
Okay.
then celebrate your aha moments when you figure it out. Something we focus on as constructors when we're writing is to look at the crossing. So if something does have like a specific piece of trivia that's like, if you know, you know, we want to give it fair crossings, meaning you can be able to parse it out
I see.
based on getting the crossing. So that's something we keep in mind in constructing. We will like clue from different angles as the difficulty level progresses, but as you progress as a solver, you'll be able to solve them all. Nothing is like such a stumper, no one can get it. And we actually had all our puzzles tested by like 30 to 40 people of different difficulty levels, backgrounds, and everyone. We took their feedback and like made changes as needed to make sure everything was solvable and enjoyable.
Now, is there a digital or online version of the puzzle?
No.
Not at this time.
Okay.
But if anyone wants to follow us on Instagram, Block Party Puzzles, we are going to begin posting links to online puzzles to solve. Oh, and also I have a puzzle out in USA Today.
Oh.
And it's free if anyone wants to get into solving, and it's easy.
We can check out Salah's puzzle in USA Today today.
Yeah. Sorry,
USA
plug for
Today
another
today.
media outlet.
Awesome. I was thinking, though, just the fact that it's going back to, it's a traditional puzzle in a booklet, not online. But thank you both. That'll be, I think we're running out of time here, but appreciate you for bringing this to us. Really fun. We're going to have some fun trying to figure that out, some of these puzzles out in the studio themselves.
Yeah,
so.
and come to our launch Saturday at the Congregation.
Yes.
Solving for all.
All right, Salah Wanatik and Emily Begas are the creators of Block Party Detroit Edition. You can meet them, battle them, or cheer them on at the Block Party Crossword book launch this Saturday from 5 to 9 at the Congregation in Detroit. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's going to do it for the Metro today. The show is produced by Sam Corey, myself, Cary Junior II, Jack Phil Brandt, and it's hosted by Robin Vincent and Tia Graham. Our engineer is Nate Bender. Music is by Sam Bobian, and our senior producer is David Lyons. Now, remember, you can find all of the conversations we have on the Metro on our podcast feeds. We're on the NPR app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, WDET.org. This is WDET FM, Detroit Public Radio, your connection to news, music, and conversation.